Yes, I have. But Ishan doesn't have, Prince doesn't have, and I think Anisha and we should keep everybody in the loop because speakers are. Yeah, we can share all these things because I think follow up नहीं करना है.
मैं बोलूंगा ना।
Yes, I have. Then you can speak it right.
ये मुझे यार एक अकाउंट में डिटेल बता ना चेक करने।
चलो ठीक, ओके जी, ओके ओके। म्यूट पे है ना?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I welcome you all at this conference on J&K AgriHort. Our speaker, chairman is a bit having some problem with the connectivity, so we'll be joining in a while. Just bear with us for a few minutes. We are getting him on board. Just for an update that we also have, exhibition on Hive. So this amongst the panelists, I request if they have not visited till now, they must go on CI Hive to visit the stalls as well. There are a number of companies who have displayed their services and products. We will be sharing the. We have already shared the link for CI Hive. We can again do the same. फारूक साहब स्टार्ट करें. हेलो. Farooq Saab, I think we should start now.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, should we start it?
Yes, yes, please.
Videos are muted. I don't know. I mean, I'm not getting the video. I'm not been able to connect through video. So I would be speaking only, yeah?
Even I am not able to get it.
Most of the people are not able to get it.
No, we are not. We are not able to get.
Okay.
This is
not
some problem with the software, I believe.
Maybe. So you can start. Please. Farooq Saab, your voice is gone.
Private Limited, Mr. Saeed Junaid Altaf, Executive Director, Phil Industries Private Limited, my colleague, Mr. Ravinesh Gulati, Vice Chairman, CII J&K, and CMD Gulati Oil Mills Private Limited. I would also like to accord a warm welcome to all participants present here today. As we know, around 70%
I believe he has lost his voice.
Hello.
Yeah, not audible.
Farooq Saab, your voice again gone. We have not been able to hear you.
Am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Oh, sorry. I think internet was lost. However, the contribution of the agriculture sector towards gross state domestic product has remained constant, which is the indication of the on sector in J&K. Also, as the involvement of the population is more in agriculture and horticulture activities, therefore there is a need to bring awareness regarding updated technologies and other techniques among the platform that will lead to changes in policy making and bridging the gap between the industry in India and different stakeholders in agriculture horticulture sector in J&K. This conference is a step forward towards that. Now, without wasting time, I would request Mr. Anshul Manchanda, Managing Director, Architect, Refrigeration Private Limited, to speak on this occasion. Mr. Anshul Manchanda, please.
Yeah, very good afternoon to all the participants, and thank you, Mr. Amin, for giving the opportunity to me to represent the thought process or the new trends which are coming up in the refrigeration field for this industry. I'll just give you a quick brief about myself and the organization. Then I'll come back to the various trends which are coming up in refrigeration. I am Anjul Manchanda, Managing Director, Arctic Refrigeration Private Limited. We have our corporate office in Gurgaon, and we are operating all across India with 14 offices and providing the cold chain solutions for various applications and doing the controlled atmosphere application cold storage in J&K. We have our own puff panel manufacturing setup in Bhiwadi, very near to Delhi. There we are manufacturing the PUR as well as PIR puff panels for cold storage application. So here I will be speaking about the various trends in refrigeration, air conditioning for the applications in J&K, which will benefit the farmers and the stakeholders to implement in the present solutions which they are using for the development of their own profit margins or the effective refrigeration to decrease their storage cost and other things. Like in the previous sessions I attended, and there were few concerns about the infrastructure of cold chain which has already been built in J&K. So I will be touching that subject as well in this of my presentation to this forum. So starting with the produce of apple in J&K, we all know that J&K, the highest produce of the apple in India is happening in J&K. So total of roughly around 19 lakh ton of apple is produced every year in J&K. The industry is roughly around 7,000 crore worth of Indian rupees. And the total food processing unit, if we compare against the total output of the fruit in J&K, roughly around 60 to 70,000 tons of the fruit is being processed in the processing industry. So this is a very concern area. You know, when we have the total product of 19 lakh ton, and out of 19 lakh ton, we are just processing 60,000 tons. So there is a serious need to have the food processing industry set up in J&K so that you can utilize the fruit which people are producing over there. And the processing is a very important part in terms of revenue for the state, revenue for the farmers, and the upbringing of the infrastructure. So that is the thing which is very important. So what to do with for the improvement of food processing sector over there? Firstly, you know, there are various segments like the apple juice concentrate plant we can put up, or you know, apple chips we can put up. So these are the things where you know the government of India is also taking initiative with the help of Ministry of Food Processing of India. So coming back to the CA stores, the J&K is working, the farm level working has been, you know, really aggressive in terms of increasing the production capacity of the apple there. So because of this high density plantation, we expect this production is going to be up by almost 50% in next 4 to 5 years. So looking into that, the requirement of building the CA store, and that to the effective CA stores with the lowest power consumption of the running of the facility, the combination of high humidity chambers, pre-cooling chambers, the packing grading line, and in the packing grading line you need to have the sorting of the apples based on the color, based on the size, based on the shape, because every category, whether it is A category, B category, C category, will fetch you at different rates in the market. So starting from the plucking of the fruit from at the farm level, we need to make sure that we are pre-cooling it at the right temperature within the given time frame of 6 to 8 hours. And then the fruit should be properly, you know, sorted in the sorting grading line. The same size of fruit should go into the same size of packaging, and then it should go into the controlled atmosphere cold store as soon as possible. Now, coming back to the controlled atmosphere cold store design. Now, we are using different kind of compressors, different kind of RPMs for CA store. So the effective refrigeration selection for the CA store is very important to ensure that product life, shelf life got increased to a substantial time frame. Plus, the weight loss of the fruit should not happen, and the fruit should stay as much as fresh as possible in the cold store. And the power consumption or the running cost of the facility should be the lowest. So looking into this, we need to look into new technologies of using the screw compressors, using the VFDs, using the EC fans, because the temperature in winter goes down drastically in the J&K. So the use of the EC fan in the condensers plays a very big role. You don't have to run the fans of the condenser when there is a winter season outside. So we should use the EC fans to reduce the RPM of the fans. We should use the VFD so that it can control the RPM of the compressor. Compressor should run at a low RPM, thus taking the low power consumption of the plant. So these things are very important when it comes to the designing of refrigeration system. In addition to refrigeration system, the biggest loss of the apple in the CA store is the loss of weight of apples. So to control the loss of weight of the apple, we have to make sure that rooms are properly humidified. You need to ensure that humidity inside the room is as close as to 95% inside the chambers, so that the weight loss is absolutely under control. Because at any given point of time, the prices in the market is based on the weight of the fruit only. So freshness and the weight both plays a very big role when you bring out the produce from the CA store and the market, it goes into the market. So the design of the compressor, the humidification system, obviously the CA store, CA is the heart of the system. So we have to have a effective CA technology. Nowadays even in J&K also, we are implementing the CA technology with the ultra low oxygen, which we are maintaining inside the rooms. So the oxygen levels are going as low as close to the 0.1%, 0.01%. So you maintain those oxygen levels to ensure that fruit ripening is absolutely negligible inside the chambers. So the control of the oxygen CO2 in the chamber, along with the high humidity rooms, along with the screw compressor applications, these three combinations gives you the total effective running of the entire CA store, which brings out the best fruit at the lowest possible cost. So these are the things I just wanted to highlight on the CA store. But as far as J&K is concerned, apart from the apple, there are many produce which are growing in J&K. Cherry is one of the best available in J&K. So the canning of those fruits, plus the saffron. Saffron is one which is it has proven the quality of the saffron which we are producing in J&K is accepted worldwide. Recently, we executed one saffron park in J&K in collaboration with National Horticulture Board and the Ministry of Food Processing. So there, the entire process of setting up the lab, along with the cold rooms, the vacuum dryer for the saffron, and the packaging unit, which is packing the saffron in different weights from 1 gram to 1.5 gram, 2 gram, and 5 gram. So all these equipments were imported and was implemented in the saffron park, which is giving a very good result to the government or the farmers over there. They are using those facility from last 2 years now. Even in this season also, the facility is completely in demand. So it is these kind of facilities, the government of India, or with the help of CII, we want to give a message that government of India should look into the implementing these effective facilities at the farm level for the saffron and the apple, because for the apple CA store or the apple pre-cooling, we need to reach at the farm level. Right now, it is concentrated in 3 or 4 industrial area like Lassipura. So if the government, the state bureaucrats or the central government should take the initiative to take this infrastructure, to bring this infrastructure as close as possible to the farm level, to ensure that the produce, when it is plucked at the farm level, should go to the pre-cooling then and there itself, and these it should be stored then and there itself. That will bring out the best possible fruit from the J&K, and ultimately, it will benefit the entire farmer people in J&K with the effective returns. So refrigeration, as far as cold chain refrigeration is concerned, the implementation of this infrastructure at the farm level is very important for J&K. So this is what I wanted to say, and over to Mr. Amin for the next speaker. Thank you.
I think we have.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Amin, sir.
It's a potential. I thank you for your detailed insight regarding this refrigeration capacity.
Probably, I think there is some connectivity issue. Your voice is not audible.
MP. Thank you.
Mr. Safat Sultan, sir, please come on the line. So, what to you, sir? This is not audible.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. Very unusual settings. There's a lot of technical issues, but
I understand. Yes.
Is the video on? I'm not able to connect the video. Is it on?
No, video is not on. But yeah, you can still address it.
We are facing problem regarding that.
Yeah.
Anyways, first of all, thank you so much for affording an opportunity to speak on this occasion. CI is doing a commendable job, despite tremendous challenges in the new norm of virtual conferencing. Thank you, Khurshid Saab, Amin Saab, and the entire CI team. I'll be talking on JKHPMC, the Jammu and Kashmir Horticulture Produce Marketing Corporation was started by the erstwhile state government way back in the early 80s with a lot of fanfare. The idea was to ensure value addition of the horticulture produce of the erstwhile state, and B, to provide a sort of a platform for the farmers to increase, to value add their stuff and help in earning remunerative prices. Unfortunately, it started, as I said, it started in the early 80s with the establishment of an apple juice plant that was set up in Doabgao, Sopor, North Kashmir. So this apple juice plant has a apple crushing capacity of 10,000 metric tons. This was set up in collaboration with the Cadbury's India Limited. Subsequently, this plant was transferred to the state government, and that's how JKHPMC came into existence. Over the period of time, JKHPMC acquired quite a few assets, mostly in the Kashmir division of the state, and also a few assets in the Jammu division of the state. But unfortunately, because of the unfavorable law and order situation that has been prevalent in the state over the last 3 decades now, most of these assets, which were essentially apple grading houses and walnut processing units, they were occupied by the security forces. As of today, on papers, we have 37 assets, which essentially means 37 land banks, substantial land banks, and most of them are under the occupation of the security forces. So I'll be talking about the processing part of it and the value addition part of it, which Mr. Anjul Manchand also, I think, slightly touched upon, and he's later on switched over the refrigeration part of it to the storage part of it. We in J&K we have the distinction of producing close to 75% of the apple that goes to the national market, and it translates to approximately 20 lakh metric tons that is exported every year. So out of this 20 lakh metric tons, close to 6 metric tons, that's about 30% of it, is the C grade apple, or the cull apple, as we call it. That's the technical term we use. So this C grade apple, part of it finds its way in the neighboring states of the country, and a large chunk of it is processed in the processing, and in the very few processing plants that we have in the state. So we have in the private sector a apple processing plant that's in the private sector. It has a capacity, my friend Mr. Junaid will correct me if I'm wrong, it has a capacity of about 20,000 metric tons. And other than that, there are on papers quite a few processing units that also have a capacity close to 50,000 metric ton is the aggregate capacity of apple that's being processed per annum. But that having been said, there is a large gap in the processing sector of the state, of the Union Territory now. We have a potential of crushing about 1 lakh metric tons of apple, when actually on ground we have less than 50,000 metric tons, the installed capacity, out of which only 50% of it's being utilized. So yes, apple processing is one sector where there is scope for value addition. And other than that, in the walnut sector also, we don't have any qualified walnut processing units in the state. With the earlier ones that we had, as I said, the ones that were established way back in the early 90s, early 80s, they have been abandoned. The machinery there is rusted, and the land has been occupied by the paramilitary forces. So there is scope for walnut processing. There is scope for apple processing. In fact, the apple processing needs to be scaled up. There is a lot of scope for other fruits also. A lot of fruits that are being, a lot of horticulture produced other than apple and walnut.
एक राउंड ले लीजिए.
That's being produced in the state. Recently, we, because of the COVID lockdown, we had the challenge of shipping out cherry produce out of the Union Territory. But that's one area when we started seriously looking into the processing sector of cherry, we could see that there are quite a few processing units in the unorganized sector, and we try to get them on the same page during that is early June when the cherry harvest takes place. Unfortunately, we were not able to do much, and a lot of cherry we had to was not able we were not able to export it to the neighboring mandis, and most of it was consumed locally. That was one area when we started seriously looking into the processing units that we have in Kashmir. Manchanda ji also talked about the high density plantation initiative that has been started by the horticulture department, the production department of the horticulture vertical that we have. So they have embarked on a very ambitious program of high density plantation. They are targeting about 1.62 lakh hectares of traditional senile apple orchards that would be converted to high density apple orchards over a period of 15 to 20 years. And the schemes we have in vogue, which are availed of by the farmers, is the 2222 and the 3333 models. This scheme has its own pluses and minuses. There has been a lot of reluctance on the part of the farmers because most of our orchardists in the northern part of the Union Territory, they have this, as you know, that horticulture is the mainstay of our economy. And switching over from the traditional orchards to the high density does consume a few years before the plants start giving fruits. So there is a trade-off, and that's why there is a lot of resistance in this sector. But the horticulture department is they have taken up this challenge, and hopefully in the coming 15-20 years we'll have a substantial high density plantation in place. We also had in the processing sector, as this my segment specifically deals with the processing part of it. We have, as I said, in Sopore, we have 70 canals of land in the industrial estate, the Dobga industrial estate, premises, and fortunately or unfortunately, only 5 to 8 canals of land are under the civil and the mechanical structures of the apple juice plant, which means that there are about 60 canals of land which are unutilized, and they could be put to productive use. So I'm grateful to my principal secretary. He has agreed to facilitate setting up of a mini food processing park there. It will be a sort of a mini food processing park where we would be establishing food processing units in association with the food processing entrepreneurs of the state. And inshallah, in the coming months, we'll be starting the groundwork on this initiative. This is under the micro food processing scheme that has been recently launched by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and under the Atma Nirbhar scheme of Government of India, under which the government is the central government in association with the state governments and union territories is going to provide credit link facility to the extent of 30% to the entrepreneurs. So we are working on the blueprint of this mini food processing park. We would invite entrepreneurs to join hands with us and set up small units, be it for cherry canning, for apple processing, the RTS segment of apple processing, walnut processing, bottling plants, and stuff like that. It's in the nascent stage, and I'm sure in the coming months we'll have a blueprint in place. In the cold store segment, other than the concentration of cold stores in the southern part of the Kashmir division, we have, as I said, a few land banks in the northern part of Kashmir, and we have been authorized by the government, by the UT government, to set up a few CS stores of 5,000 metric ton capacity in the northern part of Kashmir. and we have a land bank in district Kupwara. It's in precisely in Andwara area, where we would be inshallah the next year next financial year we would be setting up a CS store of 5,000 metric tons. We have fewer number of CS stores. Mr. Manchanda will bear me out in the northern part of the state, northern part of the Union Territory, and with the establishment of this 5,000 empty capacity store, CS store, we expect it to cater to the demand of that area. Other than that, APIDA had sanctioned an integrated apple house to JKSPMC long back. I will not, I'll not say when, because that project is highly used now. And we lately we have started work on that, and it's a integrated apple house and a cold store. This will come up in a place called Chaudhry Gund in South Kashmir, and inshallah, next year we'll be able to commission it. We'll be able to we'll throw it open for the people, for the orchardists, for the farmers of that area. So this year also, unfortunately, because of the extreme weather conditions, we had a large chunk of the apple produce that's being harvested now. It is not as we had last year. So last year we introduced a scheme. The government of Jammu and Kashmir introduced a scheme which was called Market Intervention Scheme. The idea was that the farmers, the orchardists who were suffering for a variety of reasons last year, a variety of administrative and political reasons, the government introduced this scheme by way of which the farmers were provided remunerative prices at the doorsteps in the sense that we had identified a few terminal centers in Kashmir where the farmers were asked to deliver their stuff, and the government had also, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India, roped in NAFED as the marketing entity, and the idea was that we could help and facilitate the growers to export the apple last year. Unfortunately, this scheme didn't pick up the way as it was expected. But that said, we were able to record a modest export of about 1.5 lakh metric tons that was exported through this scheme. This year also, the government was contemplating to repeat the scheme. Unfortunately, it hit some roadblock, and that's why we couldn't implement it this year. But parallelly, the government was also working on facilitating the growers because of, as I said, this year the apple produce has not been that promising, and the government this year was trying to assist on the farmers by buying this C-grade apple, or Kal apple as you call it, as I said earlier, and through a scheme which we had named as price support scheme. Unfortunately, again, it didn't materialize for reasons not known to me. But this scheme was also seriously thought about. We had put up a very comprehensive plan, submitted to the government in time, but didn't materialize. I really don't know what is happening with the C-grade apple. But if you ask me, I'm struggling to get C-grade apple in Dobga, which happens to be the apple bowl of Kashmir. But that having been said, we have started the operations of the apple juice plant, and fortunately, it's running seamlessly, and supplies are coming to the plant. We have been able to crush that. So other than that, the Atmanirbhar scheme, as I said earlier, the Government of India has sanctioned 1,597 food processing units. For Kashmir, this scheme, I'm sure most of you must be aware about the salient features of the scheme. It's to be implemented over a period of 5 years, and the food processing entrepreneurs of the state would stand to benefit substantially. There's about 30%, as I said, would come in the shape of credit link facility. The government is seriously working on it and trying to put together a database of credible food processing units that could be handheld, leveraged, and the support we have in collaboration with the departments, the industries department, the horticulture agriculture department, put together a database of the small scale units that we have in the state. And the units that are essentially food processing part of it. And hopefully there is a nodal department. Horticulture department has been designated as the nodal department for the implementation of the scheme. The scheme also envisages setting up of engaging of a consultant, which is empaneled by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and that consultant would also have a subset of a project monitoring unit, which will assist and handhold these entrepreneurs. So in the processing sector, as I said, there is a lot of scope. But at the same time, what we need is the policy has to be robust. B, the Ministry of Food Processing Industry incentives, whatever available, they have to be forthcoming, and there has to be urge on the part of the food processing entrepreneurs of the state. I think together we can make it happen. It's a very good scheme, and I'm sure, besides providing livelihood to a large number of unemployed youth, it will help in strengthening the infrastructure in the food processing sector of the state. So with these words, thank you so much, and I once again thank the organizers and hand over back to Mr. Amin. Thank you.
बस साइन कर दीजिए, साइन और नेम एंड डेजिग्नेशन.
I think Mr. Farooq Amin has got disconnected. Thank you, Altaf sir, for your presentation or for your speech on giving the brief about what the J&K horticulture department is really looking at, and how they are going to support the entire value chain in food processing sector. Thank you so much. Now I invite Mr. A.K. Singh, who's the Director, National Horticulture Board.
Deputy
Director, National Horticulture Board, to address the participants. Mr. Singh, please.
Okay, very thank you. And first of all, I'd like to thanks to CI team to invite me for this program. Right now, I am away from Srinagar, and I accompany with a team of nursery accreditation away from Anantnag district. So we have very limited time. I can give 5 to 6 minutes only, because already program has been scheduled earlier. So a subject role of National Horticulture Board in the development of Jammu and Kashmir, keeping in view the infrastructure and value addition, right?
Yeah.
Now we are explaining the scheme of National Horticulture Board in terms of value addition and infrastructure development in the sector of horticulture. We know that Atmanirbhar Bharat, the Prime Minister of India has announced the scheme recently, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and creating the infrastructure in the field of agriculture and horticulture sector. In these circumstances, the National Horticulture Board already framed the schemes for infrastructure like that cold storage, CA storage for apple storage, and value addition primary processing in the state of Jammu Kashmir, like walnut processing, fruit and vegetable, dehydrated vegetables. So many schemes, connection, uh, like post harvest management. All the schemes giving 50% financial assistance in the kind of back-ended subsidy. It is very handsome with National Horticulture Board, and we are giving so many benefits to the farmers, entrepreneurs, and self-help group, FPO, who are coming in this field. Uh, I just like to explain in the terms of apple, major fruits in Jammu and Kashmir. Now J&K producing near about 20 metric ton of apple, and we have a storing capacity of apple right now near about 2 lakhs metric ton. So in this connection, we need so many CA store in J&K. So Government of India is providing very handsome subsidy for the establishment of CA store in J&K, and NHB also having a good scheme for creating CA store. Now more than 15 CA stores been established under NHB scheme in J&K, and now we are focusing for primary processing like walnut processing and dehydration of vegetable. Now some farmers are growing organic vegetable in cluster area, Gam district, and also they are growing organic vegetable under the control atmosphere. So it is very good opportunity for J&K in the sector of horticulture. So NSB is also providing his assistance in the kind of subsidy. Suppose you can take the CA store in the state, maximum subsidy we are providing 7.5 crores for CA store J&K. And for infrastructure like grading packing unit of apple, primary processing, and refrigerated van, anybody, any entrepreneur, group of farmer, FPO can avail the subsidy from National Horticulture Board. And in this scheme, maximum outlet of the project may be 0.5 crores per project. Out of that, National Horticulture Board providing 50% subsidy for J&K. It is a special package for Northeast J&K state, because in other state we are providing 35% subsidy, but Northeast and J&K is availing 50% of the total project cost. So it is very good, handsome amount for this type of project in the state of J&K. So many scheme is there, and all scheme is on our website. So any farmers, any groups of farmers, entrepreneur can avail of subsidy and go through our website of National Horticulture Board. So these are the very important schemes framed under Atmanirbhar Bharat. And Government of India has announced 1 lakh crore rupees for this type of infrastructure, creating the field of agriculture and horticulture. Out of 1 lakh crore, J&K is receiving 900 crore for establishment of infrastructure in the field of agriculture and horticulture. So you can, I am inviting all the farmers and group of farmer, individual also, they can avail this type of facility under this scheme. So now we have very time. Right now I am a team of the National Nursery Accreditation, and we are also, I am live from field of nursery, one of 50 kilometer away from Anantnag district. So again, I would like to thank him And I am very much, I'm sorry to that I have very limited time. And any queries, so you go through our website, www.nhb.gov.in. So this is the website of National Horticulture Board, and all the scheme uploaded our website. Any doubt, then you can ask our office in Jammu in Bahu Plaza, and also Srinagar for Kashmir in Rajbagh Horticulture Complex. Okay, thank you very much, CI team and other stakeholder of this program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Mr. Singh, I think you have given an insight what the National Horticulture Board can do and help the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, and even the farmers there in the state. Thank you so much for your enlightening inputs. Thank you so much. And now, yeah. Now I invite Mr. Syed Junaid Altaf, Executive Director, Phil Industries Private Limited, to address the participants. Mr. Altaf, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Surinder.
Good evening.
Passing
Good
on the
evening, sir.
baton to me. Thank
Can
for
you,
that.
sir, switch on your video for a while so that I can?
I have put it on. I had it on before as well. I put it on, but I am not seeing myself as well.
Okay, it's not on right now. Earlier it was visible.
Yes.
Yeah, it is there. It is there.
Yeah. So thank you once again for having me speak at this time. I'd like to compliment the speakers who've come in and spoken before me. I think some very valuable thoughts from Mr. Manchanda, Mr. Shafat Sultan, Mr. A.K. Singh, and certainly Mr. Farooq Amin, who's moderating this panel. I'd like to take a small approach, a private entrepreneur approach in addressing this panel vis-a-vis innovation, and I'll also open it up, to a little more diverse opinions in terms of what kind of value addition is possible in horticulture in Jammu and Kashmir. Innovation in the value chain and value-added products essentially expands the agriculture economy. It has the potential to exponentially create development, economic opportunity, and financial inclusion for all the stakeholders of the agriculture economy. This is right from the farm to the end consumer and includes a multimodal ecosystem: farmers, laborers, traders, transporters, wholesalers, manufacturing and industrial organizations, retailers. We could even argue for a minute that financial institutions are part of this ecosystem. So, the real word I'd like us to concentrate on here is the word innovation. The agriculture economy over a number of centuries has essentially been built on the need for innovation, effectively to increase the sustenance of livelihoods. Agriculture economy fundamentally feeds us, and hence across civilizations there has been a need to innovate. This has been true right from the days of the Egyptian civilization to the Industrial Revolution and the Green Revolution in India in the 1960s. Specifically, again, innovation can be product-based, process-based, technology-based, and more practically, it is a combination of all three of these. When I speak about the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the possible synergies that exist through innovation in the value chain and value-added products can specifically imbibe the below benefits to the larger economy. Number one, employment. Extremely high, points up there on the radar for garnering primary, specialized, as well as service-based employment. Point two, expansion of the economy by entry of new participants. The moment we look at value addition, we are opening up the agriculture economy to multimodal participation by new participants who are either not there, or we are inviting industrial organizations or existing participants to horizontally integrate. Point three, there is a vertical transfer of knowledge throughout the chain, and this effectively results in huge scale building. Point four, an effective and critical subsystem for creation of agriculture as a new age employer is possible through innovation in the value chain, including immense opportunities for self-employment. Finally, and most importantly, financial literacy, financial inclusion, and financial upliftment. These are three critical components of any economy that are needed, and certainly innovation in the value chain can lead to this. With this background, I'd specifically, just like to discuss a few opportunities in Apple vis-a-vis Jammu and Kashmir and the larger agriculture economy from that perspective. I'd not like to be repetitive, but since Apple is the primary crop in Jammu and Kashmir, I think it deserves, I personally believe it deserves a lot more attention and focus going forward. Apple has a distinct possibility of intervention, innovation at every stage of the life cycle of the apple. This is at a pre-harvest stage, post-harvest stage, and food processing. Let me just explain on the three stage on some interventions possible. At the pre-harvest level, value addition is possible through integrated nursery for rootstock and budwood. Opportunities exist in nutrition, soil, and fruit. Immense possibilities in integrated pest management through new generation molecules and mechanization. When I move on to post-harvest possibilities, certainly we have the table varieties in which value addition is possible through sorting, grading centers, and excelling in those. Dried apple, apple chips, bread, confectionery. Finally, coming on to processing, which has been the focus of this panel before me as well. More often than not, we include apple concentrate as a key product. While as apple concentrate is a key product, byproduct in the value addition of apple, I'd like to highlight that apple is a distinct product where every part of the apple you eat has potential to have a value add. So taking it from apple juice concentrate, there is another variant that is possible where one can get into deionized concentrate. From deionized concentrate, we can actually look at extraction of fructose, which is a natural sugar in apple. And this today is, with healthier lifestyles, this is becoming more and more relevant. There is apple pectin from pomace, which is again waste in apple processing. We can extract the pectin, and in fact, in India, we are mostly importing pectin globally. So actually, extraction of pectin offers a unique opportunity for import substitution and a great, obviously, avenue for entrepreneurship by itself. Apple cider. Apple cider today is used as a major health supplement throughout the world, and it is picking up. The opportunity exists there as well. I spoke of pomace before. We have apple seed. We can actually extract oil from apple seed, and that can be used further. Apple cider vinegar. All in all, what I'm trying to highlight is that at every level of the life cycle of the fruit, one can scientifically evaluate it, analyze it, and innovate with value addition processes that result in substantially higher value products coming to the market. The multifold benefits of this include, employment, revenue generation, and finally, branding of Jammu and Kashmir as a large ecosystem which supports such innovation. While as I've highlighted apple, similar possibilities exist in peach, plum, pear, apricot, cherry, as well as almonds and saffron. The esteemed panelists before me, they certainly mentioned that a lot of work is going on in some of these fruits, and I am of the firm opinion we are certainly at a cusp of the start of a journey where J&K will take a leadership position in the development of the ecosystem of its haughty agriculture economy. and contribute to the upliftment of the local economy. Thank you very much for hearing me out.
Thank you, Junaid sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. I mean, your views and thoughts will give some, boost to the areas where people are thinking of, really working on improving the value chain in food processing sector. Yeah, thank you so much. Now I will invite Mr. Ravneesh Gulati, our Vice Chairman for J&K, to deliver to summarize the entire session and also to give his concluding remarks. Mr. Ravneesh Gulati, please.
Thanks, Surendraji. I would initially like to highlight the tremendous potential we have in agriculture, horticulture, and food processing sector in our union territory. We have scarce land sources, and I would highlight for better utilization of scarce land resources. I would highlight another area where we have tremendous potential to grow. That is use of hydroponics for agriculture. That is one field where we have not started working on. As most of the panelists must be knowing, hydroponics is a soilless cultivation. Various countries are growing fruits, vegetables without soil. We can do this in a contained environment using vertical farming, and it's producing excellent results. In some cases, more than 10 times the average yield on land. That is one area where we need to work on. I would also highlight for cultivation of mushroom in our union territory. Whereas our neighboring states like Punjab and Himachal are doing great work in these sector, we have not worked in this sector. Also, I would also like to point out that we have large walnut processing units in Jammu, which are ironically now depending on importing of walnuts for processing. So, if we have a large quantity of walnuts in our state, though, they will not be depending on the other countries for their raw material. In agriculture, I will also like to point out another area. In late 80s and early 90s, we have large quantity of mustard cultivation in Kashmir Valley. So we can take up, I don't know why it is not being cultivated there, because already mustard crops prices are are at a very high price. So our farmers can benefit from that. So these are the areas we can work upon. And with this, I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the eminent speakers. We are grateful to them for sparing time to be with us. I would especially thank Mr. Anjul Manchanda, MD Arctic Refrigeration Private Limited, Shafat Sultan, MD GHPMC, Saeed Junaid Altaf from FIL Industries Private Limited. With this, I would now we would be starting the technical session, and I would now like to invite Farooq, the session moderator. I believe Farooq is not having a connectivity issues, so I would request Mr. Surinder to take forward from me, and over to you, Surinder. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, we have clubbed the sessions now. This was the session closed right now.
Okay.
So this is the only session. So I think.
We had a great session, and I am sure all the participants must have benefited from this session, and we look forward to more of these sessions so that our agricultural community can benefit from these interactions. Thank you very much.
Thank you all the eminent panelists for being with us. I think this was quite an interactive as well as informative session, and hope for something positive to come out from the learnings which have come out of this session. Thank you so much. We'll keep connected for some other activities as well. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.